Welcome to Pleasant Grove High School for a High School Rewind Game of the Week. I am Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us. Our matchup, the Riverton Silverwolves and the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you along with us. We have a terrific Region 4 matchup between Riverton and Pleasant Grove. And let's start with the Riverton Silverwolves. They come in tonight looking to continue to move forward in region play. As we mentioned, this region is absolutely stacked with Lone Peak, American Fork, and Pleasant Grove and Riverton to try to make a move and again a higher seed and go in the state tournament. They're going to have to win a game like this and one of the top three teams in this region's home court, and they're going to have to get it done tonight. A couple names to keep in the back of your, or in the forefront of your mind is going to be Connor Henderson and also Brandon Sly. Last time we saw, well, I was with you to see Riverton. Brandon Sly had that big game against Bingham. There's a chorus of players we have to keep your eye on talking about the Silverwolves. We talked about the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Saw the Vikings last week at that nice win against Lehigh. They have not played since last Friday, so we'll see if there's any rust or anything from that, or if they're just well rested and able to get up and down the floor. And the name to remember here is Matt Conway. Matt is averaging 20 points a game, had a terrific game last week against Lehigh. I'll have to do it again tonight. Coach McAllister and the Vikings like to play pressure. We'll see how Coach Galley Silverwolves handle that tonight. You know our teams and our matchup and a couple of keys to the game. When we come back, will be the opening tip-off. And you are watching High School Rewind only on Xfinity On Demand. And welcome back inside Pleasant Grove High School. We're set for the opening tip-off. Jumping tonight is going to be Jaron Jones for the Riverton Silverwolves and Matt Conway for the Pleasant Grove Vikings. Should mention Jaron Jones was meant to be our open player for Riverton. So he wins the opening tip. Hand off to Brandon Sly. And now on the floor we go with Riverton. On the angle, dropping inside Luamanu. Luamanu's pass picked off by Sheffield. Quickly down the floor with the Vikings pulling up in transition. That shot is short. The putback by Conway is too strong. Jones with the board, now on the run with Brandon Sly. Quickly down the floor with the Silverwolves. Slide down the lane, slides the left hand off the window, no. Jones with the board, and that's off the back rim. Tipped around by Luamanu. Court with the board and the foul to Tavita Luamanu. First foul of the ball game. Mentioned a big region game for both of these teams tonight. PG comes in on a 9-game winning streak. Riverton has come in up and down throughout the preseason, but it's all about region play. Conway's long-range jumper, no. Tipped out by Diedrichson and picked up by the Silverwolves. The board to be credited to McCleary. Down the floor with Sly. Here's Aarons. Near side, McCleary. Luamanu come out for the screen. In the corner, Aarons. Aarons will pull for three, and that's off the front of the rim. Aarons with a save inside of Luamanu. Turn around off the window, no, too strong. Luamanu ball still loose. He's going to clear it out to Brandon Sly. Now here's Aarons. Up top of Sly, and we'll set up the offense for the Silverwolves. Sly down the lane and is fouled by Court, and that'll be the first team foul charged to PG. Into Tavita Luamanu, a two-sport athlete. We cover her on High School Rewind. Here's Slide down the lane. Outside Aarons for three. And that rims off. Ball still loose. And we're going to have a loose ball foul on McCleary. Second team foul on Riverton. We're scoreless under a minute and 40 seconds into the play. Hoyos cross the Diedrichson now inside Sheffield. Oh, nice move. Got Jones off his feet, the pump fake. First points of the game is going to go to Sheffield, and it's Pleasant Grove 2-0. Here's Brandon Sly. Sly also played on the football team for Coach Christensen as he gives to Tavita Luamanu. High post to Jones. Jones hanging on a pivot. The handoff Aarons. Aarons to the lane. Aarons to the right hand and gets it to go. I'll open up that outside shot for Aarons. He goes to the bucket like that. So not up at 2. 5:30 remaining in the first quarter. High post Conway. Conway into Luamanu. Left hand. Oh, somehow Matt Conway gets that to go. A good no call underneath. And it's 4-2 PG. Jones trails. Fires from three, and that's off the back of the rim. Rebound. Tracked down by Aarons. McCleary thought about three. Goal down the baseline. He gets the foul and one. Oh, what a finish by McCleary, and that foul will be charged to Conway. It'll be the second team foul on PG. McCleary looking to finish the three-point play. And it's a 5-4 lead in favor of Riverton. A token full court pressure coming from the Silverwolves court. Cross to De Hoyos. De Hoyos will hand to Sheffield. Skip pass into the corner. Three on the way. And good. Forrest Pincock. Forrest did not play last week against Lehigh. 7-5 the lead for the Vikings. Full court pressure coming from Coach McAllister. Here's McCleary. McCleary working on Pincock. Tournamates in a lane and has back to Tavita Loamanu. 4.5 remaining. And Loamanu loses footing, picked up by Conway. Conway going the other way. And he's fouled and can't finish. And it'll be a foul on Jeff Ahrens. And it'll be Conway shooting two. First free throw was no good from Conway. Front rims his second, and the rebound collected by Riverton. Quickly on the floor now with Brandon Sly. Sly in the lane. High post jumper off the back of the rim. That was from Tanner Anderson. Quickly on the run now with Court and the Vikings. Into Conway, nobody home, and Conway lays it up softly to the left hand. And it's now a 9-5 lead in favor of Riverton. Ahrens quickly up the floor. Frantic up and down pace to get started tonight. Ahrens has that one go up, lose the handle, and it'll be back court. Out of timeout from Coach Galley. 3:50 remaining in the first. Oh, nice find to Forrest Pincock. Lays it up, and a nice find by Court. Quite a trio between Court, Pincock, and Conway. And then you add Sheffield to it, and that's what makes PG very, very dangerous in this Region 4. Ahrens hands off to McCleary. McCleary guarded by Pincock. Screened by Anderson. McCleary on the angle. Now dribbles into the corner. Gets it out to Anderson. Hands back to Sly. We're now nearing 3:20 in the first quarter. Sly down the lane. Terminates. Nobody home. And hands back to McCleary, and we'll set up the offense again. Anderson holding. Here's Ahrens. Ahrens handing to Sly. 3 minutes now remaining in the first quarter. Sly loses his footing. Tries to go back down the baseline. Steps out of bounds. Turnover, and we'll go back to PG. Braden Wellman into the game for Coach McAllister. 6-point lead for the Vikings. Here's Wellman. He'll pull up inside the arc. Misses short, and then Jones is fouled on a loose ball, and that'll be charged to Pleasant Grove. Fouls on Jake Wilson. That is the third team foul on Pleasant Grove. Connor Henderson, we mentioned in the open, walked the ball up the floor for Coach Galley. Guarded by Pincock. Here's Sly. Sly goes to drop it in, and we got a foul by Wellman, and an entry pass to Jones. Fourth team foul on Pleasant Grove. Slide a trigger. Gets it into Henderson. Now Ahrens. Back to Henderson on the angle. Able to trap off the screen. Nearing the 2-minute mark, we got a foul away from the ball, and I'll be again on Wellman, I believe. And that'll be the 15th foul charged to PG. Now up top of the Henderson. Henderson out to Sly. Here's Jeff Ahrens. Ahrens will drive. Ahrens high off the window. And good. What a take by Jeff Ahrens. I think he thought he's got the foul. No call on the contact. Now down to 4. Diedrichson outside the court. Court goes over the top to Conway. Conway off the window and good. The backside is Sly. He has such a height advantage. That was easy for Conway. 6-point lead again for PG. 13-7 with 1:25 remaining in the first. Here Conway. Conway to Anderson. Anderson will hand back to Henderson. Now Brandon Sly on the angle. Slide down the base, slide to the hole, no can get it to go, and Jones with the board and bucket. 13-9 our score. Quickly down the floor with Court. Here's Wilson. Back to Court. Court will pull for three. And Court's off the mark. Rebound to Hoyos. Jumper on the baseline too strong. And the ball's still loose and out of bounds, I believe, off of Riverton, yes. And we'll stay here. De Hoyos, the trigger, gets it into Court. He'll pull for three again. And Court just off the mark. Rebound to Aarons. Quick it on the floor now with Aarons and the Silverwolves. Now Sly. Sly will go down the baseline. Sly steps out of bounds. And we'll go back to Pleasant Grove. It's a 4-point lead for the Vikings. 30 seconds remaining. Looking for the final shot. Diedrichson back to Court. He'll just tuck it underneath his arm and wait for the final shot. 20 seconds. Now Diedrichson hands back to Court. Here's Diedrichson. Up top, Wilson. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Backdoor lob to Conway for the alley-oop. Oh, what a play! It'll count if it goes. No, it won't. What a way to finish the first quarter. Going backdoor alley-oop to Matt Conway. And at the end of one, it's Pleasant Grove 15, Riverton 9. Start of the second quarter. Pleasant Grove will start the ball after a terrific way to finish that alley-oop to Conway. I mean, I didn't see that one coming. Far side to Hoyos. Give to Conway. Conway entry pass to Wilson. Wilson with the left hand and good. It's now an 8-point lead. Full court pressure coming from PG. Zach Edwards. Hands off to Joey Andrews. Andrews back to Henderson. Will set up the offense for the Silverwolves off the screen from Anderson. Still trapping off the screen. Henderson. Andrews. Now Edwards. Edwards pass too hot to handle. Turnover and we'll go the other way. Be interesting to see where the scoring comes from for Riverton with this lineup. Henderson and Sly are going to have to carry the load here. Cross court to Hoyos. High post to Conway. Loose ball picked up by Edwards. Who'll get on the run now with Brandon Sly. Sly backs it out. Hands off to Andrews. Andrews up top with Henderson. Aaron set to check in for Riverton. Henderson terminates. Still waiting. Now gets it out to Andrews. Jones set to check in as well. Down the right side of the lane. Andrews can't finish and he's fouled. Court can't believe it. Late whistle. And it'll be the 16th foul on Pleasant Grove. Andrews made the first free throws. Got one more. Jaron Jones and Jeff Aarons back on the floor. And a second rolls off. Back down the floor, forced Pincock and the Vikings. Near side to Hoyos. Hands back to Pincock. 6:25 remaining in the first half and a 7-point lead for Pleasant Grove. 16 fouls on the Vikings, only 3 on the Silverwolves. Something to keep our eye on them. Remaining 6:15. Conway inside, he's fouled and one! What a way to finish by Matt Conway. And Conway will go to the line looking for the 3-point play. Here's the and one for Conway. And it crawls off. Back down the floor with Brandon Sly. Sly again losing his footing. That's about the third or fourth time we've seen that in the first half. Hands back to Andrews. 6 minutes remaining now. Edwards up top with Jaron Jones. Jones back to Andrews.
Come on, boys, let's go!
Inside Jones. Jones faces up. Contact, no foul. Rebound to Conway. Back down the floor to Hoyos. Hands back to Pincock. Cross court, Diedrichson dropping inside Conway. Jones is there. Conway can't finish. Gets his own board left hand, and he's fouled. And Conway will go back to the line to shoot 2. First free throw was good. Sheffield back on the court now for Pleasant Grove. And Conway makes the second. 21-10 the lead for Pleasant Grove. Gets it into Andrews. Andrews into the front court. Moves out the screen. Anderson has it slapped away by Sheffield. Ball still loose and picked up by Sheffield going the other way. Sheffield down the lane. Sheffield to left hand and good. Another mistake from Riverton. Now a 13-point lead for the Vikings. Riverton's going to have to find some offense and close out this quarter. Sly has that one tipped away by Sheffield. Back down the floor we go with Vikings. Lead ahead to Conway, and he's fouled and one. Second on Jones. That's the 15th foul on the Silverwolves. Conway looking to finish the three-point play. And does so, 26-10. Surprising first half. We expect such a close game throughout. There's been mistakes by Riverton and big plays turned in by the Vikings. Able to break it. McCleary for three. That's front rim. Anderson with the board. Anderson off the window, no. Tipped out. Anderson able to track it back down. Now to McCleary. Here's Jeff Ahrens. Ahrens down the lane. Ahrens into the corner. Spencer Anderson for three. And he rips it from the outside. A welcome sign for Coach Steve Galley. Finding a range of first of the half. 26-13 our score. Pincock into the corner to Hoyos. Here's Brown. Pincock for three. Front rim. Conway at the board, and Conway fouled by McCleary. And Conway will go back to the line to shoot two. Conway made the front end. And hits the second. 15-point lead. 28-13. The lead for the Vikings. 4:10 remaining in the first half. Pressure still on from Coach McAllister. Here's Sly. Now McCleary. Up top to Anderson, back to Ahrens. Lomanu come out and set the screen on Mitch Brown. Ahrens into the corner to Anderson. Anderson terminates, now into Lomanu. Lomanu spins to the baseline. Cross court, McCleary for three. And McCleary finds the range from the outside. And it's two straight threes for Riverton. They got to find some way to get a stop here. 28-16. The lead for the Vikings. Conway's jumper. He's lived at the free throw line. He's got the range from there. So now 30-16 the lead for Pleasant Grove. In the front court, Brandon Sly. Tracked down by Anderson. Anderson hands back to Sly. Sly again losing his footing. Sheffield Sadecki got an advantage. McCleary into the corner. Anderson for three. Too long, and the rebound collected by De Hoyos. 3 minutes remaining. Quickly to head of Conway. Conway with the and one. Once again from Matt Conway. Able to finish with the contact. And Conway will go back to the free throw line. Conway at the free throw line once again after another terrific finish. Now back up to 17, 33-16. 2:50 remaining in the first half. Jeff Ahrens walks into the front court.
Come on, Jeff!
Ahrens down the lane. Has back to Lomanu for three. Lomanu too strong. Rebound collected by Sheffield. Sheffield outside to Hoyos for three. That's well too strong. Rebound taken by Lomanu. Has back to Slide, 2:30. Ahrens for three. And Ahrens has that one roll off. Rebound taken by Anderson. Back out top to Ahrens, and he'll give it to Sly and set up the offense. 2:20 remaining in the first half. Sly down the lane. And Sly with his first bucket. His first bucket of the second quarter. Timeout taken by Coach McAllister. 2:12 remaining in the half. 33-18 Vikings. After the timeout, 33-28 the lead for Pleasant Grove. They're in the 2-minute mark in the first half. Here's Conway now near side of Mitch Brown. Here's Court. Steps inside the free throw line and hits the jumper. Terrific move by Riley Court. Second leading scorer for the Vikings. 1:45 remaining in the half. Back up to 17. Jumper on the baseline for Anderson, good. 35-20. 1:30 remaining in the half. Court ahead to Mitch Brown. Back to Riley Court. Score now outside to De Hoyos. Now up top of Brown. Brown back into Court. Court's far away. Jumper good. 2 straight buckets from Riley Court after a quiet first half. 37-20. We'll get back down the floor. That's a 3 and short. Rebound to Mitch Brown. Putting on a run now with Court. Court terminates. Gives up to Sheffield. Jumper too strong. Rebound to Aarons. Down to 55 seconds. Aarons hands back to Brandon Sly. Down the lane. Sly jackknife it up and in. Oh, what a finish by Brandon Sly. Back up to back down to 15. Sheffield into the lane. And we're going to have a block on Tavita Luamanu trying to draw the charge. And we'll have a 1-on-1 coming the way of Sheffield. Sheffield missed the first. It was a 2-shot foul. And makes the second. 38-22 our score. Full court pressure still on. Slide now to Jones. Jones to Aarons. Now break it ahead to Sly. And that should be out of bounds on Pincock and stay here. It is. Inbound in. And then Anderson is called for a travel. 25 seconds remaining in the first half after the turnover. PG going to look for the final play. We saw the end of the first quarter, finished in an alley-oop. 15 seconds now. Now down to 10. Riley Court. Now 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3. Pincock in the corner. And that's too strong. That'll count if it goes from Aarons. And that's how the first half will end. At the end of 2 quarters, all Pleasant Grove, they lead 38-22 over Riverton. And we're set for the second half. It's a 16-point advantage for Pleasant Grove. Riverton's have to correct the mistakes from the first half and figure out a way to handle this pressure and the trap, and their first possession is a turnover. We saw last week in the fourth quarter, it was a 1-point game, a really close game against Lehigh. Pleasant Grove came out and started trapping really quickly, started forcing turnovers and pulled away in that game. And for Riverton, they're going to have to handle that pressure and stop Matt Conway. He's going down the lane and finishing with the left hand. Another terrific finish after a bump by Conway, and it's 40-22 in favor of Pleasant Grove. McCleary into the corner, and Aarons can't handle the pass. And another turnover on Riverton. Back down the floor we come with the Vikings. Here's De Hoyos. High post to Matt Conway. Conway faces up, jump it, and it's too strong. Rebound taken by Brandon Sly. Sly with the left hand off the window and good. 40-24. Back down the floor, Riley Court gets it out to Sheffield. Sheffield in the corner, De Hoyos. He'll pull for 3, and that's short rebound to Conway. Conway with the board and a bucket. And Conway dominating this ball game, 42-24. Again, an 18-point lead for Pleasant Grove. Slide terminates, gets it now to Luamanu. Luamanu will jump it inside the arc, and it's well short. Rebound taken by Riley Court. Now on the run for the Vikings. Lob to Conway. Conway misses, and he's fouled by Jeff Aarons. And Conway will go to the line and shoot 2 more. Conway made both free throws. And it's now back up, now at 20, 44-24, 6:20 remaining in the third. Here's Sly, now McCleary, cross to Aarons. Aarons down the baseline, Aarons takes the bump, can't finish, rebound to Conway, pushing up the floor. Here's Court.
Come on, Riverton, let's go!
Court will back it out. Now down the lane, lob again to Conway. And out of bounds off of Anderson, and we'll stay here. De Hoyos to trigger. And we got a violation on De Hoyos. We'll go with Riverton. We had an inbound violation against PG, and so there's 2 Riverton. Full court pressure and a foul on De Hoyos. And that'll be the first team foul on Pleasant Grove. Jones to inbound for Riverton. Got to get it in. And does to Aarons. And Aarons takes a bump from Sheffield. And that's now the second team foul on the Vikings. Jones the trigger. Gets it into Sly. Unofficially 28 points from Matt Conway here in the third quarter. Here's Sly. Back to Jones. Jones inside. Jones swatted from behind by Sheffield. We got a foul. And that's now the third team foul and the second foul on Sheffield. Jones made the first. And rims out the second. 19-point game. Here's Court. Court into the corner, De Hoyos. De Hoyos in the lane. Jump it and score it.
That's Hayden De Hoyos.
Hayden De Hoyos, I believe that's his first bucket of the game. And it's now back to 19. Or pardon me, it's 21. Head to Jones. Jones now hands back to Aarons. Aarons terminates. Now Anderson. Anderson still hanging on. Here's McCleary. McCleary down the base. Now back up top, Aarons. That terrific defense from PG all evening. Inside out to McCleary. Has to track it down. McCleary pressured by De Hoyos. Now Brandon Sly. Sly go hard to the hole. Sly with the bump. Can't finish. Was trying to get the foul. Didn't get it. And then didn't finish. Back down the floor. Sheffield. Here's Pincock. Now back to Sheffield. Sheffield held by McCleary. And that's the second team foul on Riverton. Pincock inbounds to Conway. Conway again bumped and scores. Conway now with 30 points. 48-25 the lead for Pleasant Grove. Here's Aarons. Now to Henderson. Henderson. Continue to work. Goes down the lane. Left hand. No. Rebound to Anderson. Back to Henderson. Aarons will pull for three. And Aarons hits from downtown. 48-28. 3:50 remains in the third quarter. Here's Riley Court. Court now to Mitch Brown. Back out to Court.
Come on, defense!
A screen from Wilson into the corner. Pincock for three. And Pincock from downtown. Forrest Pincock with the three, and it's 51-28. Henderson floats it. No. Rebound. Jones, no. And Jones will go to the line to shoot two. Jones missed the first. And gets the second. 51-29. The Vikings still with a commanding 22-point lead. Back down the floor. Here's Wellman. Guarded by Aarons. Now Brown. Here's Pincock who just hit the three. Now 3 minutes. Here's Wellman. Now Pincock. Up top Brown. Near side Wellman. Hits Pincock in the corner. Pincock inside out to Brown. Brown has it slapped away from behind. Oh, we're going to call turnover on Mitch Brown. And we'll go the other way. 2:40 remaining in the third. Broken nicely. Here's Jones. And Jones lays it in. 20-point game, 51-21. Sheffield up top, Pincock. Pincock will pull for three, and that's short. Rebound, Anderson. Now up the floor with Brandon Sly. Sly down the lane. Sly gets a bump, and they're going to give him the shots. We'll sort it out for you. Here's Sly, gets it into Jones, and thought maybe Jones put that too strong, but Jones able to finish. Now down to 18. 2:10 remaining in the third. Near side, Pincock. Here's Brown. Brown in the corner, Wellman. Back to Brown. Here's Pincock. Pincock down the lane. And we have a foul on Brandon Sly. I thought Sly's hand was on the ball. They had him from behind. It'll be 2 free throws coming away at Forrest Pincock. Foul is on the floor. Pincock to trigger. He gets it into Wilson, and Wilson fouled by Anderson. 2 free throws coming away to Mr. Wilson. Wilson made the first. And rims out the second. We'll get on the floor. Here's Brandon Sly. Riverton's got to close out the third. It's strong into the corner. Anderson back to Sly. Up top, Henderson. Henderson, Perwin in the lane. Nobody home on the pass. Turnover. We'll go the other way. Officials got together and gave the ball back to Riverton, saying it went off a PG. Anderson's got to get it in, and does to Henderson. 19-point ball game. Henderson. Now to Aarons, into the corner, Sly. He'll pull for 3. Sly leaves it short. Rebound to Pincock. Now here's Riley Court, 1:15 on the clock. In the corner, Mitch Brown. Brown back up to Court. 1:10 on the clock now. Court near side, Pincock. Expect a long set coming from PG here. Here's Riley Court. No. He'll fall away. No. Won't go. Rebound to Brandon Sly. Sly racing up the floor. Sly to the hole. And he's fouled by Sheffield. And then they're called on Brandon Sly. So the foul was on Anderson on the screen. Not on Brandon Sly. 5 team fouls apiece. 45 seconds on the clock. Here's Pincock. Backdoor to Conway. He doesn't flush it home, but lays it in. 54-33. 30 seconds on the clock. Brandon Sly got to get it across. Here's the trap is there, and now we'll have a foul on Wilson. That's 6. So the next foul will be bonus throughout the fourth quarter. End of 3. There's still 28 seconds remaining. 54-33 the lead for the Vikings. Here's Henderson. Henderson now to Anderson. Anderson has that poked away from behind for the shot went up. Aaron's tracking it down. Wilson steps out of bounds and will stay here. Henderson inbound. And as that tip back to him, pass inside Anderson. Double clutches and then is fouled. I think this will go against Mitch Brown. Anderson made the first. It's the 17th foul on Pleasant Grove, so the bonus throughout the fourth quarter. And he makes them both. 19-point game, 54-35. Court, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2. Does it count if it goes? Court fall away? No. That'll do it for the third quarter. And at the end of 3, still all Vikings, 54-35. Beginning of the fourth and final quarter, it's going to take a major move by Riverton to try to decode the defense from Pleasant Grove. Inside Sheffield. Sheffield, foul going to lane. It'll be 2 free throws coming away to Sheffield. Sheffield missed the first free throws, got one more. And front rims the second. Rebound to Edwards, now down the floor with Riverton. Expect quick sets here. They've got to get in this game. Brandon terminates, drug his foot. And another turnover will go with Pleasant Grove. After the turnover, back down the floor we go with Pleasant Grove. Court hanging on a pivot. Hands to Pincock. And now get back to Court and set up the offense. Now Conway. Conway cross court, Pincock. Apartment De Hoyos, his shot is short. Rebound Andrews. We got a foul on De Hoyos. And it'll be 1-1 coming away of Andrews. Andrews made the front end of 1-1. And front rims the second. 18 points, 54-36. Inside out, Court to Pincock. Now hands back to Court. High post to Conway. Conway into the corner, De Hoyos. Spins base, De Hoyos off the window and good. Pleasant Grove has finished at the rim so well, especially with angles. 20-point lead again. Here's Brandon Sly. He'll pull for three. No, rebound to Court. 6:20 on the clock. Inside, Conway has that one stolen. Pass a little hot to handle. Henderson can't get his hands on it. And the loose ball is picked up by Sheffield. Back down the floor with Court. Court down the lane. Court floated up short. Rebound to Sly. Sly in the lane, inside out. Henderson will pull for three. That's way long. Rebound to Court. Quickly back down the floor. Sheffield makes the catch. Perwa in the lane. Reverse it and score it. 22-point lead now. Riverton unable to capitalize on opportunities. And PG playing very, very well. Head to Pincock. Pincock misses the layup. Ball's loose, picked up by Sly. 3-on-3. Sly in the lane, looking for the foul. No. And we're going to call it on the floor. And it'll be 1-on-1 coming to Brandon Sly. Sly made both free throws. And walking up the front court is Wellman. 5:20 now on the game clock. Here's Pincock, straight away Conway. On the angle with Diedrichson. Sheffield drops it in, Conway. Double team comes. Conway, power sets by. No, we're going to get him with a travel. Turnover, and we'll go the other way. 58-38 after the turnover. Now McCleary. McCleary, nice pass to Edwards. And Edwards can't finish. There it is. Goaltending, hit the backboard with the ball up. And it'll be 58-40. Pincock. Into Wellman. And Pincock will bring it up the floor. And we're going to have a foul on Andrews. And it'll be 1-on-1 coming the way of Forrest Pincock. Pincock made the first. And the second. 60-40. Lob over the top to Jones, and he's fouled. This will go against Sheffield, and if it is, I believe it'll be 3 or 4, Mr. Sheffield. Jones made both free throws, and that was a 10th team foul on PG. Double bonus the remainder of the game. Here's Pincock, breaking the full court pressure easily. He'll reverse out and set up the offense. 4:35 on the clock. Timeout taken by Pleasant Grove. 4:36 remaining in the fourth. 60-42 in favor of the Vikings. So after the timeout, 18-point game, here's Court. Court down the base, give to Conway. Conway, power dribble, jackknife it up, can't finish. For one of the few times tonight, Conway will go to the line to shoot two. Conway made the first, unofficially with 35 points tonight. As he makes them both, now to 36. Back up by 20, 62-42. Riverton's played a little bit better, but it's unable to cut into this lead with stops. Sly outside. Jones for three. 62-45. Now you got to get stops. Here's Court. Imagine Coach McAllister going to pull the air out of the ball. As we are halfway through the fourth quarter, 4 minutes remaining in the game. Here's Pincock. Pincock, now Court. Here's Conway. Now Diedrichson. Here's Sheffield. Nice pass behind to Court. And the ball just won't stay in bounds. Nice play by McCleary. We'll stay here. Trigger into Conway, back into Pincock. Pincock working on Brandon, fall away, left-hander. Thought that was going to be strong, and it rattles home. 19-point game. Here's Sly. Trap comes. Here's Jones. Now McCleary. Drop it inside to Edwards. Now Aarons. Aarons fouled by 21, that's Diedrichsen. No, pardon me, Sheffield, that's 4. Aaron splits from the lines. Our score now 64-46. Full court pressure on. Here's Pincock. And Riverton really will back out of it for the most part. Nearing the 3-minute mark. Hand off Diedrichsen. Expect long possessions. And that pass is stolen and a foul on court. It'll be 2 more free throws coming away to Aarons. Aarons made both free throws. Henderson comes back into the game. 16-point game. Inbound to Pincock. Inside of 3 minutes, down to 2:55. This court. Hands off the Pincock. Tonight's game really was the first half, as the Pleasant Grove had the alley-oop to Conway to end the first quarter. In that second quarter, a lot of turnovers from Riverton and too much Conway. Outside, Diedrichsen for 3. Diedrichsen can't get it. Conway with the board and Conway with the bucket. Quickly up the floor. Here's Henderson. Drop it inside to Jaron Jones. Jones outside Aarons. Aarons off the window. No. Conway with the board. Conway hits the deck. And it'll be Brandon Sly bringing it back up. Sly cross to Anderson. Now Henderson back to Sly. Slide down the lane. Sly with the bump. And Sly will go to the line. Foul will go on Forrest Pincock. 2 free throws coming away at Brandon Sly. Sly made both free throws. Spencer Rigby comes on the floor for Riverton. 66-50. Head to court. Court goes into Conway and has it poked away. Rigby with the loose ball. You got to bring it up the floor. Got to bring it up quickly. 1:45 on the clock. Here's Aarons. Aarons a pull for 3. And that's too strong. That was really last hope shot there. Here's Pincock. Nice find inside to Conway. Conway now with 40 points on the night. 40 points for Matt Conway. Remember last time we had a 40-burger on High School Rewind. That shot wide from Henderson. All fine inside, and Diedrichsen with the lay-in. Timeout, Coach McAllister. 1:19 remaining in the fourth. 70-50, Vikings. Riverton bringing up the floor, and tonight's game really is all about Matt Conway. That jumper is up and no. Rebound to Wilson. All subs in the game, except for Diedrichsen, lone starter on the floor. Hand off to Mitch Brown. And Mitch gives it up. Diedrichsen into the lane, and Diedrichsen will lay it in. 72-50. Quickly up the floor. And that pass off the hands and saved in. That was Matt Johansson. Now here's Marsh. Drop it inside, and there's a foul. And now we'll put number 44, Dakota Rodriguez, at the line. Rodriguez missed the first free throw. And rims out the second. 30 seconds remaining. As Wellman will bring it up the floor. Here's Gethers. Gethers will back it out, 20 seconds. PG will move to 2-0 in region play. Win last Friday at Lehigh and a win tonight. And for Riverton, we'll continue to go through region play. And we'll have more Riverton Silverwolves basketball on High School Rewind. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And a nice win for Coach McAllister and the Vikings. And a commanding game tonight. They win 72-50 over Riverton. An impressive win for Coach McAllister and the Vikings. Their 10th consecutive win of the season. Again, our final score, Vikings 72, Riverton 50.